Jaco the Clown lives in a delusional world from the safety of the Acme Mental Hospital, where he has resided since the age of 2. As part of an international experiment to promote good mental health, he's released into the custody of his doctor each Tuesday, also known as Jaco Tuesday, in order to host his own podcast show, See My Mind. Welcome to the show.
Greetings, dear viewers and listeners, and welcome to See My Mind, the greatest podcast in the world. I'm your host, Jaco. Well, all of us here in the studio are still reeling from our inaugural show last Tuesday. It was indeed epic. Having said that, there was one particular casualty from our very first episode. Yes. It turns out that our main show sponsor, Mervyn's department store, pulled their funding and severed their ties with us. Yes, they took their ball and went home to Mommy and Daddy. Apparently, they've even filed a lawsuit against my show for breach of contract or whatever. Well, my advice for Mr. Mervyn is to sleep with one eye open from now on, because you never know what might go bump in the night.
Jaco, this is your attorney, Saul Bender, on the line. Listen, you've been on the air for what, like a minute? And you're already headed for your second lawsuit with Mervyn's. I've got my hands full with this whole Mervyn's case from the first show, which, by the way, is a pretty strong case. Retract that last threat immediately, Jaco. I mean right now.
Nobody gets up in my face and lives to tell about it.
What?
Try not to wet your pants, Saul. Good Lord, man. I'm trying to host this show and you're over there whining like an imbecile. What do you want from me, man?
A retraction to both of today's threats will be a good start, Jaco.
Fine, then. If that's what is needed for you to slither away, then so be it. I hereby retract my statements that got your panties in a bunch and inspired that thick bead of sweat on your upper lip.
Jaco, Engineer Bobbitt here. Your attorney Saul just hung up.
No bother. I'll tell you this much. That last sponsor had better put on their diaper, because they're surely headed for liquidation. Meanwhile, we'll find ourselves a new, more robust sponsor to take their place. Morons! Now then, Bobby. Do we have any emotionally stable callers on the line today?
Yes, Jaco. There's a Carla Atkins calling all the way from London on line 2. Whenever you're ready.
Whenever I'm ready? I was born ready, Bobby. Hello. Is this Carla Atkins from London, England?
Hi, Jaco. I'm a third-year medical student and just loved your brain surgery painting last week. So beautiful and inspiring. Well, I was just hoping you could tell me what it was like, growing up in a mental hospital and everything. I'm just curious.
Well, Carla, let me answer that by saying this.
You just hung up on Carla, Jaco.
Keen observation, Bobby. You're really on your game today, young man.
Ah, Jaco. This is Dr. Smedley in the booth. Take some deep breath right now. Use your wind chimes, Jaco.
Well played, Dr. Smedley. Well played. That hit the spot.
Jaco, I think maybe we should just go right to your good mental health segment now.
Yes, that's a fine idea, Bobby. Let's begin with the Dear Jaco segment. Cue the music, Bobby.
I'm on it, Jaco.
Today's segment of Dear Jaco is sponsored by Blockbuster. Blockbuster. Be kind. Rewind.
Well now, let's get to my first letter and see how I can help. This letter is from a Miss Doreen Blankenship who lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Doreen writes, Dear Jaco, I don't know what to do with my life. I'm a high school student and don't think I want to attend college after I graduate. But my parents are already making plans for me. What should I do? Well, Doreen, I believe I can help you. First, begin to sell your blood once per week. Now, they say you should only sell it once every 8 weeks, but for you, I recommend once per week. Go to different clinics so you're not caught. It's none of their business what you do with your blood anyway. Then, with the proceeds from the sale of your blood, purchase a goat and name him Jaco. That way, the next time you have a lame question for me, you can just turn to him and ask it. Just think of the money you'll save on stamps.
Jaco, Dr. Smedley here. Shame on you, Jaco. Doreen, if you're watching or listening to the show, please accept our apologies. Jaco didn't mean those things.
On the contrary, Dr. Smedley, I was being most sincere.
Jaco, stop it. Doreen, please don't listen to him. Desmond, you're our head of security. Get in there and restrain Jaco immediately.
No, No, Desmond. Okay. I'll stop. Desmond, please. I beg of you, please sit back down. Please don't hurt me. You're so very large and I'm, well, fragile. Okay, Dr. Smedley, I got my mind right now. I see the error of my ways.
You must apologize to Doreen this instant.
Yes, of course. I'll use my memo machine to make it more official. Dear Doreen, this is Jaco here. There's a chance that I gave you some questionable advice about your future. Perhaps you're more capable than I thought at first. I shouldn't have assumed. Stay in school. Listen to your parents. The right path will present itself to you when you least expect it. You'll see. Don't hate me. Sincerely, Jaco. Clarice, please hand that to Engineer Bobby to send out in today's mail.
Absolutely, Jaco.
I'm proud of you, Jaco. You took responsibility for your actions and put Doreen's feelings before your own. That's excellent progress.
Well, hey, Jaco. I'm real proud of you too, old buddy. That was real classy right there. Yes, sir. You know, maybe this is a good time to move to the hypnosis segment of the show.
Yes, Bobby. I believe you're right. Let's move ahead to the main portion of the show. Just give me a moment to compose myself. That was traumatic.
Let's see a little smile, Jaco. Come on, you can do it. There it is. That's it. Now, doesn't that feel better?
Yes, Dr. Smedley. Okay, Bobby. Cue the music.
Today's Prognosis Hypnosis segment is proudly sponsored by TWA. TWA, fly the finest. Fly TWA.
Let's begin now, Jaco. Close your eyes and make yourself as comfortable as possible. We're going to go back in time.
Let's get on with it then, Dr. Smedley.
Today, I've chosen to discuss your experience at Mount Rushmore. I'd like for you to get comfortable and just listen to the sound of my voice and forget everything else. Your eyelids are feeling heavy now, and you can't keep them open anymore. Now, when I snap my fingers, you will be completely asleep, but still able to hear my voice and respond to what I say. And... Okay, Jaco, you told me a very interesting story many years ago. It was the story of your face being added to the Mount Rushmore monument. I'd love to hear that story again. After telling that story the first time, as part of your therapy, you created a beautiful painting of it. Do you remember that painting, Jaco?
Yes, Dr. Smedley.
Excellent, Jaco. I want to talk a little bit about that experience in your life. Is that okay with you?
Yes, Dr. Smedley.
Tell me again how you were chosen to be added to the Mount Rushmore monument.
Well, the daughter of the sculptor was Mary Ellis Borglum, and she had a crush on me. She knew I had greatly contributed to the betterment of America in many ways, and that I deserved the honor. But as I told Mary, I had some conditions of my own.
What were your conditions, Jaco?
For starters, I demanded to be next to Teddy, and that Abe had to move over to make room.
What did she say to that?
She was nodding her head and taking copious notes as I spoke. Again, the crush. It was powerful.
What were your other demands?
Well, I demanded that I be carved in full color. You know, show a little personality.
Was there anything else that you wanted?
Yes. My last demand was that I wanted them to complete the work in under 30 days. It took 14 years for them to carve the first 4 chaps, and I wasn't about to wait around while they dilly-dallied and squandered time away. No, sir. Move Abe over and finish me in under 30 days. It was a deal breaker.
And she agreed to your conditions, Jaco?
Heavens, yes. She couldn't get me to sign fast enough. She was even playing footsies with me under the table as I signed.
Why did you demand to be next to Theodore Roosevelt?
Well, Teddy was the first American to win a Nobel Prize. And since I've won 7 of them, I felt it was important that we were next to one another, being award winners and all. None of the other guys ever won the award.
Well, did they get the job completed under your time limit?
Yes, Dr. Smedley. They had thousands of workers on the site every day, chipping and blasting 24/7. I camped out and supervised the whole time. They finished their work on day 23, like the skidoo.
Were you pleased with the results?
I thought they did an admirable job under the circumstances.
And whatever happened between you and Mary? Did a romance ever blossom?
Well, a gentleman never discusses such matters, but suffice it to say that Mary kept me on her speed dial until sadly passing in 2002.
Fascinating, Jaco. I really appreciate you sharing that story with me once again. Well, it's time to bring you back to the present now. Are you ready?
Yes, Dr. Smedley.
Excellent. And just like last week, I've pulled your beautiful Mount Rushmore painting from your climate-controlled art storage warehouse, and it's on display in the Unveiling Theater in Studio B. Are you ready to see it again?
Yes, Dr. Smedley.
Excellent, Jaco. Okay, let's begin by waving goodbye to your past. Just give it a little wave, Jaco. That's it. Excellent. We're moving forward in time now. We're traveling fast and entering the year 2000. We're flying over your life experiences that are about to land back in your podcast studio. In a moment, you'll hear the snap of my fingers and you'll be all the way back. Here we come, Jaco. And...
Goodness.
Jaco, are you okay? We're running a little short on time now, so we need to move to the Unveiling Theater in Studio B, all right? Jaco?
Yes, Bobby. I'm ready. I'm told it's another sold-out audience for this week's unveiling. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's retreat to the Unveiling Theater now, shall we? Clarice! Alert the theater. I'm on my way down. And Bobby, be a good chap and cue the traveling music, will you?
You got it, Jaco.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jaco's publicist, Patty Limbo. Welcome to the theater for today's unveiling. It's another packed house. Jaco will be here any moment to pull the cord and open the curtain, and I can tell you that he really appreciates the love that you're showing him. Oh, here he comes. Okay. It gives me great pleasure to welcome the host of the show and the artist behind the painting about to be unveiled, the one, the only, Jaco!
Thank you, Patty. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to my second official unveiling in this beautiful theater. I don't believe I've ever seen so many tuxedos in one place at the same time since I lived with the penguins in Antarctica one winter. This has quickly become the hottest ticket in town, and rightfully so. Yes, the spotlight just seems to find me. I must tell you, it was a well-deserved honor to be added to Mount Rushmore. I'm just pleased that we didn't get any pushback from the Lincolns for moving Abe over to make room for me. That's a display of class right there. However, it was most unfortunate that our government decided to annex the land in the Black Hills of South Dakota from the Lakota Sioux in the first place. Shameful, really. Shame, shame, shame. Let's all bow our heads in a moment of silence, shall we? Now then, let's lift our spirits once again as we prepare to feast our eyes on one of my triumphant paintings. Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby introduce you to my masterpiece entitled Mount Rushmore.
And so it was. Please stay tuned for next week's episode of See My Mind, entitled The Conductor, starring Jaco the Clown.